Hello. So in this video, I'll talk about the characteristics of good teacher. I mean, how do we know that whose teacher is good, and uh, how can we identify who is good teacher? Or kind of, I'll talk about from my perspective, and this is not like I have read a lot of books on this or some articles on this. Then I'm just saying it from there, not like that. From my point of view, from my understanding, because I have seen, or definitely you also have seen a lot of teacher in your life, so you also have some definitions from yourself, your side. So I'm just saying from my side, from my perspective, what are the characteristics of a good teacher, or the teacher whom we loved. So first of all, the teacher whom I loved are, I mean, if I recall, when I recall it from my past, then I see, then I see first, I mean, couple of things that comes in my mind side by side. It's like a good teacher is always gives us the enough education in the class, enough learning in the class, and he does it very gently, delicately, very sophisticatedly, without and without hurting the students' feelings. And at the same time, he does it in such a way so that the thing motivates the students to grow up to learn more on that topic. And at the same time, he makes the students self-learner. He do not make the students, he makes the students self-learner, and he does it in some very unique way. It is not like written in the book, it is not like copied from some other process, other system or other teacher. He does it in his own way, own interesting way. And a good teacher always loves the students. I think a good teacher always cares the students, and he never hurts the students, he never wastes the students time, and he always handles the students emotion with care. He never hurts it. And at the same time, a good teacher never interfere with the students personal life, and if there is any, then he helps it in some other way, not in the class or not in anywhere like that. He always respects the students' privacy, he always respects the students' whole life. And a good teacher always have enough time for the students. He never says no for the students, even the students goes for the emergency something still, or even the teacher is in some rush, still the teacher have some time for the students. And at the same time, if students goes for something extra, even the teacher knows that this is not his responsibility or her responsibility to give that extra thing to the students, still he gives it because he's good. And at the same time, he knows that this is not for some harmful thing. Maybe the students needs it for some, because maybe this is emergency something. And at the same time, maybe this is small thing, that this is small extra thing may help the student in some bigger way that he do not know. So a good teacher is always good. He always smiles, even if there is some problem in his personal life. He never talks about his personal, even not talks about, he sometimes talks, but it's not like he never interferes his personal life with the professional life. When he talks about his personal life, he talks in a very positive way, and like it's like 3-4% in from his talking, not more than 5% from his entire talking. I mean, in a very good way, when it connects, if it is connected, when it's not like disconnected something. And he gives some positive vibes. A good teacher, when he comes to the class, always the atmosphere in the class becomes friendly, and students feel good. I used to feel good when a good teacher used to come to the class, and I used to feel good. And when a bad teacher used to, this video is not for the bad teacher, I made another video for the bad teacher. When bad teacher comes, and actually I started feeling scared in the class. Although I was in most of my when I was a student, in most of my life I was first boy. I mean, from class 6 to class 10, the whole entire time. At that time also, I was the first from, like, let's say 150, about 150 students. Still, I felt scared when a teacher used to come in the class. But when a good teacher comes, I used to feel good. Really, it's not like they have something in their personality. They have some interesting thing in their personality. They, whenever they comes, they start like smiling. They start smiling, and they have, they exchange some small greetings in the class. Then they start the class from the previous class. Then they just handle it. They can play with the class lecture. They can play with the knowledge that he is delivering. So I mean, they are so much prepared. They are prepared. A good teacher is always prepared for the class. It's not like he is just struggling with the thing. The struggling people are not good teacher. I mean, a good teacher is always very excellent in handling the lesson. I mean, he spends a good number of time, or enough time, preparing for the lecture, preparing for before he comes to the class. He is really prepared for the class. Then he comes to the class, and then he can play with the knowledge, and we can see it when we feel like this is so extraordinary to look. Like a teacher is taking us there, then all of a sudden he's going there, then he just all of a sudden he just comes and shows us the intersection of these two branches of knowledge, and it was like, oh my god, this is so much fun. And at the same time, all of a sudden he goes somewhere and we do not know, then he comes back and we are like, oh my god, this is connected there, this is connected there, and this is so much fun. Then he starts critical reasoning, analyzing the situation, analyzing the circumstances, consequences, and the background, everything, and definitely step by step. And then when we connect it, we feel like, oh my god, this is so much interesting, so much interesting. This topic is, this subject is. A good teacher can do it. So. And at the same time, a good teacher always, as I said, always very much friendly with the students, to some extent. Not like this is a difference. Let me explain this. A good teacher is friendly with the students, but not friend. You know the difference. There is a very sharp, very clear difference, and there must be some space between them. I have seen many teachers in my life. When I'm making this video, I'm teaching, I'm professionally teaching for last about 8 to 9 years, and I taught in primary school, high school, college, and now I'm teaching in some semi-university level. So you can see there is a huge gap, huge line of experience here. I'm sorry, I mean, I'm not saying it for that reason, but I've seen that people, many teachers who become friends, like they want to be friendly with the students, then they become friend of the students, and then all of a sudden the whole thing collapses, and students starts misusing the teacher, and teacher starts misusing the students, and there is no respect in between this gap, and there is no privacy in this gap. There is nothing in this gap. I can give you more examples, more clear-cut examples, but it will annoy you. I have seen many disturbing scenes also. Anyway, so a good teacher is friendly with the students, but not friend. That's all, not friend. And sometimes some people there's a quote about this. A good teacher is like a father for the students. So there is another counter for this, and counter is like this. Think all of them, think your students not as your child, just like child of your friend. There is some interesting gap here. People are calling me, I have to reset them. So a good teacher, so you see that's interesting gap. There is an interesting gap here. Like, you consider the students not like your children, not like your own children. They are the children of your friends. That means now you have some rooms to guide them in some more not like your own thing, but at the same time you can give some extra pressure. At the same time, you have to be respectful to them. Like, when it is your children, you can say whatever, they will not mind, because you are their father or you are their mother. But when they are your friends' children, then you have to respect them a bit. There must be some gap, there must be some separation. So all these things are interesting. Basically, to be a good sorry let me tell you another one thing. There is no recipe for a good teacher. I mean, like, you cannot follow some rules like this. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Now I'm a good teacher. Not like this. This is not possible. There is no recipe for the good teacher. If there were one, then all the people would have become. I mean, those who want, they would have become a great teacher or good teacher, whatever they wanted. But there is nothing like that. That means you have to grow. A good teacher always grows up with time. Time to time, they just grow up. They just grows up, and this is a kind of time, long time practice. And at the same time, there is another quote about this. Let me tell you that. One is, some people says there are good teacher. Sometimes good teacher are by born, and some people says no, someone can be good teacher by practice, by not only practice, by following some rules and methods. My observation about this is, I have seen good teacher. I have seen many good teacher by born. Number one thing. Number two thing, I have seen these good teacher are not doing their best, are not performing in their best capacity because they are not trained, because they have no idea. Again, some teacher who are not by born good teacher, or they do not have any natural way of explaining things, but by practice, by training, by methods, by rules, they are performing better than the by born good teacher. So basically, my point is, I will not disagree with them, those who are saying that there are teachers who are good teachers are by born. I will not disagree with them. Yes, I have seen many good teachers. They are naturally better in explaining, and they are naturally good. But at the same time, sometimes you see, sometimes those who are not naturally teacher, they become better performer than the good naturally good teacher, because of their laziness, because of their lack of practice and extra confidence, all of these things. So basically all of these things is there. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching this. All right, bye bye, see you.